Very simple and layman terms, it just gets digested. But what many people don't know, that it starts from our mouth itself. So when we are generating some saliva, it is also your amylase enzyme is also attached into it. And majorly, protein breakdown is very important at this point, because it's very rigid to break it down. And that's, if somebody knows about food, that's one of the major nutrient which takes most of the time to digest completely. Billions and billions of bacteria living in our gut. There are good also and bad ones also. So of course, we require more of good bacteria, which will help us to digest that food furthermore, and in fact help it to digest and absorb it in the bloodstream. Vitamins and some important minerals like folic acid, some unsaturated fatty acids, and then good amount of protein. All of that is going in your gut.
My name is Jamir. My friends call me Jamie, and I work for a startup called Subhak Health Tech. So what we are trying to do is we're trying to be a solutions-based company for the infertility market. So we have got two products in the market. One is a sperm washing machine called the Androwash by Subhak, and the other one is a home insemination kit called VConceive. So over these few months, we have had a lot of success from gynecologists and from end customers about positive pregnancies using our product. Over and beyond that, what we are doing with these kind of interviews that we are having today is we're trying to simplify the infertility topic and give it to our viewers. And वहाँ पे the topic on food and nutrition is a big thing, because every time we talk to different doctors, they all say diet is important. And a lot of our viewers also, for them, what to eat, what not to eat, especially for a woman trying to get pregnant, the preconception care is very vital. And therefore, what I want today is focus just on the preconception care on women and what a woman should eat and avoid if she's trying to get pregnant. Could you kindly introduce yourself?
My full name is Mehak Shah. I am a nutritionist. I am also a blogger for Healthify Me. Apart from that, I'm a subject matter expert. I'm also a diabetes educator and a content creator for a few brands here and there.
Subhak Health Tech welcomes you, and we hope this is a very lengthy collaborative journey for all of us.
Thank you so much.
When we eat food, right, what happens?
So in very simple and layman terms, it just gets digested. But what many people don't know, that it starts from our mouth itself. So when we are generating some saliva, it is also your amylase enzyme is also attached into it. And it starts the breakdown of carbohydrate right then and there. And then it goes to our esophagus, which is right here. And then after that in the stomach. In your stomach, you have bile, and you have your hydrochloric acid, wherein other breakdown keep on happening. And majorly, protein breakdown is very important at this point, because it's very rigid to break it down. And that's, if somebody knows about food, that's one of the major nutrient which takes most of the time to digest completely. After that, it goes in your small intestine, when there are other gut bacteria, which are billions and trillions, and they would help you to absorb that kind of food, and more simplification of the food happens. So your protein will get converted into small amino acids, your carbs will get converted into glucose, and your fats will get converted into fatty acids. So from there, it just goes right in your bloodstream, where it gets connected to all other tissue. Of course, your blood is going to transport it everywhere in your body. It will get absorbed in many areas where it will do different kinds of functions. So all nutrients have different functions.
Therefore, knowing the right food to eat and to avoid is crucial. We were talking with some doctors, and she was talking more and more about gut health and how important it is to get pregnant.
Correct. Yes, that there are millions and billions of bacteria living in our gut. There are good also and bad ones also. So of course, we require more of good bacteria, which will help us to digest that food furthermore, and in fact help it to digest and absorb it in the bloodstream. If your gut bacteria is in the good condition, it will try to acquire most from the food that you have eaten. So on that note, let's compare one hamburger to a lean meat, let's say fish meat. Okay, now two things you have consumed, right? One of them is a hamburger from which you are getting some simple carbs, you are getting trans fats, you are getting some sodium, and all of these are getting absorbed in the body. Now, on the other hand, we have some salmon, which is again some good fats are getting to you, some vitamins and some important minerals like folic acid, some unsaturated fatty acids, and then good amount of protein. All of that is going in your gut. So what majorly I'm trying to say is whatever you are eating is getting absorbed by the body. Hence, this gut bacteria is important. And in many books, when you start reading the detox diet by Sonali, one of them is that she has clearly mentioned that gut bacteria itself is the biggest organ in our body. It has its own brain because it knows when to function and how to function.
And therefore, how closely is it related to infertility or fertility?
Great questions that way, because let's say if you are consuming iron rich food, your gut is absorbing that. If you are giving it omega-6 fatty acid trans fats, it's absorbing that. So when we compare some unhealthy foods to which is going in your gut and your gut is absorbing it and transporting it everywhere, firstly, this kind of food is killing your good bacteria. Now, what is going to happen? Firstly, your digestion will hamper. Obviously, it's getting compromised if you don't have things to absorb it, which are actually absorbing it. So rather, once it is killing, other it is just getting transported everywhere in your body, creating inflammation. Inflammation is happening in your body. Definitely, you're going to have some insulin resistance because of that hormonal imbalance. Insulin is directly related to your testosterone. And when we talk about women, if the testosterone levels go higher, obviously the infertility takes place. When you are consuming good things, as in when we consider salmon or let's say some vegetables you have consumed, which is a good source of folic acid, iron, you name it, and it's there. So if you're consuming all of these things and it's getting absorbed by your body, your gut is multiplying it. Your good bacteria are multiplying because of it. It's giving it food, right? So when we are saying that it's a living being, it requires food to multiply. So if you are giving it food to multiply, it's growing, it's absorbing it more, transporting it more. And in depth, when we talk about it, obviously our reproductive cells are also cells which require minimum range of nutrients. So if it's getting absorbed, your gut health and your reproductive health will also be good.
What kind of food a woman should eat to boost their fertility?
To boost your fertility, you should definitely go for some good fats like avocados, oils, nut seeds. You should go for some whole grains, which will again help you to multiply your gut bacteria, like brown rice, quinoa, whole wheat bran, millets, number of things you can eat. Then you go to your hydration. Now, it is very important to understand here, even though we take water for granted and hydration, everybody nowadays is saying how it is impacting your reproductive health is that it gives your cervical mucus the chance to, and only then sperm mobility will happen. Otherwise, the mobility will not happen and it will not reach your egg, and again, the infertility will take place. So after that, we also need to take care of certain nutrients like vitamin D, calcium, folic acid, folate, iron. So these things need to be consumed.
And hence the importance of hydration. I didn't know the correlation between cervical mucus and hydration.
Yeah, definitely. If it's not there, then nothing can happen.
That's true. You've mentioned trans fat twice. Please elaborate on this because I'm not sure what this is.
Trans fats, if we talk in very simple terms, if you are fond of street food, you may have seen your samosa wala doing these samosa, deep frying samosas. So they'll put it once, they'll put it twice, then 3 times, 4 times in the same oil. They are, putting their samosas and frying it. Right. So what is happening that now the chemical structure of that oil has been changed, and from good fats which could have been there, now it has converted itself due to the cellular change, due to the molecular change, to trans fat, which is not at all good for you. So let's say if you're cooking, let's say samosa itself, you're cooking it at home, and you are frying it once, the deep fry is happening once. So all the nutrition, whatever was there in your fats, is getting absorbed by the samosa and you're eating it. So inflammation still will not happen that much. Whereas if you're getting these food processed from out and somebody else is doing it for you, those trans fats are getting added to your food, which will lead to inflammation in the body. Okay, another part of having these high trans fats is omega-6 fatty acids. We know omega acids are very important, omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids. We say they are very, very important for us, considering that it helps to boost your brain function, your skin health, your hair health, nails, it's everywhere. But if the quantity of omega-6 fatty acid gets higher in your blood, which is even there in your cooking oil, if it's not cold pressed, if that's higher and it's going in your bloodstream, it's going to inflame your blood vessels, leading to, again, insulin resistance and infertility as well.